Email can work for your business if and when you're ready to show up as yourself in your people's inboxes. It really can be as simple as that, as sending notes from the heart, lessons learned along the way, adding value, and selling sometimes too. You can do this, and these 5 must-send emails are here to help. You're listening to the Copywriter On Call podcast. I'm your host, SARA Gillis, copywriter, word magic maker, and owner of What Sarah Said. On this podcast, you'll feel empowered to show up online in a way that has you saying, "That's so me." Let's get started. Welcome to the Copywriter On Call podcast. I'm your host, SARA Gillis, and I'm clocking in on call to share 5 email prompts that creative entrepreneurs should send. But before we dive into what emails you should send as a creative business owner, let's cover a few basics about why you need an email list in the first place. According to a survey by Litmus, completed by 372 marketers worldwide, the return on investment, or ROI, of email marketing is on average 38 to 1, meaning that for every dollar you invest in email, you have the ability to earn $38 back in your business. In addition, with the ever-shifting algorithm on Google and on social networks like at Facebook and Instagram, not to mention the outages, an email list allows you to be in charge of reaching your audience whenever you want. Finally, email is more targeted and warm than your social media following, as consumers have to opt in and allow you to communicate with them inside their inbox. If you aren't convinced yet, keep on listening. I've got 5 emails that you can write and send quickly. So let's get into it. First, let's start with the basics, a who I am email. This email is an effective way to introduce yourself to your audience, meaning it's perfect for an email welcome sequence or an "I haven't emailed you in a while, whoops" email. We've all been there, but don't let that prevent you from getting back in touch with your people. Here are a few key parts of this email. First, consider comparing your old life to your current one and reflect on why you're grateful for both paths, but also why you're living your dream life now, even on the bad days. For me, this looks like reminding my people that I spent a decade in the classroom as a teacher of college-level English and 1 special year as a middle school gifted ed teacher. And I have the opportunity to reflect on why I left teaching to pursue my own business. Flexibility. Try this swipeable template on for size. I've experienced firsthand the power of what you do, like capturing photos, telling your story, taking control of your diet, and more, and turning it into the impact of your work, such as creating lasting memories, creating a business that's as unique as you are, cultivating a healthy way of living, and more. Now you've shared how you've changed over the years in a professional sense, but we aren't leaving the past behind just yet. Next, share a unique fact about your past and emphasize how it relates to your approach in business. This tactic helps your client get to know past you and current you, and encourages them to reflect on their own past and present to see how some aspects of their lives remain true to the way they do things today. Here's an example from Kara, a photography client of mine. I haven't left my high school cheerleading days behind, and I don't plan on doing so anytime soon. I'm a cheerleader for the connections that I am blessed to capture. My favorite? I'll do all the high kicks to see businesses thrive, prosper, and bring their magic to serve others. Finally, let's move to future you, shall we? Let's wrap up this email by sharing a brief personal story that emphasizes your why in business. This is a crucial part of that getting to know you email because it humanizes you beyond your job title, whether you're a copywriter like me, a photographer, a florist, or something else. To get you thinking, here's another example from Kara, that photography client of mine. After enduring 2 unexpected losses in my personal life, my photos of these people are my most prized possessions. So giving other families and friends the ability to go back in time and feel their laughter and their love when they look at their photos, it's golden. All right, That was email number 1, the Who I Am email. Let's dive now into email number 2. This email is called the Quick Win, and it is one of my favorite tricks to deliver value to your email subscribers. First, make sure that you select a process or a task that doesn't take long. Think less than an hour, but the quicker, the better for this email. And this process should be something that your ideal client wants or needs to do. Some of my favorite examples are how to create a GIF in Photoshop, how to create a foolproof grocery list for this week's dinner menu, or how to relax by breathing deeply. Once you've identified your quick win process or task, you're going to want to share a short list of needed items or ingredients to accomplish the task. Ideally, at least one of these must-have items will be an educational social media post that you've recently published, or a free PDF download you've made, or even a low-ticket offer. Don't be afraid to ask for a purchase here, especially if it's $50 or less. Next, you're going to want to dive in and share the steps to complete this process or task. Try to break it down into 3 to 5 steps. If your process or task requires more than that, maybe it's too complex. For bonus points, you could also show your reader how you would accomplish this task by sharing a screen recording of your computer or your phone, filming a video of you in your kitchen, or giving a sneak peek behind the scenes at your low-ticket offer. All right, so far we've covered the first 2 emails that creative entrepreneurs should send, the Who I Am email and the Quick Win email. Now, let's chat about 3 emails that you can use to sell to your email subscribers. First up is email number 3, the Mistakes I've Made email. The power of this email comes in being vulnerable with your audience. We have all made mistakes in our businesses, and sharing yours will help your people trust you. Evoking a sense of trust by sharing your mistakes? Yeah, honesty and vulnerability are attractive qualities in a person, and especially in a business owner. Listen to this. I thought that I couldn't charge more for my work until I had systems in place, attended just one more conference, had all the best gear, props, or the perfect client experience. This left me spending so much money and time on stuff I didn't need. I kept waiting to finally feel worthy of increasing my prices, but that feeling didn't and can't come about that way. What's key about this mistake and that example is that it's relatable. Who hasn't paid money for a course, a business tool, or a piece of equipment that just didn't turn out to be a game changer? Who hasn't contemplated raising their prices and wondered if they were worth that increase? And as business owners, we've all been there. We've all made mistakes, and it's that shared experience here that you're pointing to. So now that you've admitted a mistake you've made in business, you're going to showcase what comes after the mistakes, the transformation. Listen to this. Want to know when things finally started to click? When I invested in a business coach, drastically changed the way I thought about my self-worth, and stopped treating my photography business like a side hustle and ran it as a CEO instead. If I did it, you can too. As my brother would say, doesn't that just make you want to run through walls and get things done? This email is all about inspiring your reader to believe that they can wake up today and do things differently. Now, the last part of this email asks your reader to commit to doing just that, to making a change today in the interests of their future self, who's doing business on their best day. Here's how that sounds. I want you to commit to calling it quits on doubt and choose confidence instead. That tiny voice in the back of your mind that's telling you there just has to be a better way to do this, it's time to listen to it. All right, email number 4 on the list for creative entrepreneurs to send to their email list is a simple offer email. This one you've likely read before, and maybe you've even sent some, and I've intentionally listed it here as email number 4 because it's a beautiful one to send after email number 3, the Mistakes I've Made email. But here are the basics. First, you need a Jesse Spano, I'm so excited style statement to signal to your reader that this email isn't just a note from you to them, it's something exciting that they'll want to read. Here's an example. Scroll on down, friend, to see some super exciting, can't believe this is my life stuff coming your way that I couldn't be more thrilled about. Fun, right? Next, you need to share a little backstory behind why this offer has been on your heart or in the works. Why do your people need this? What pain point or challenge does it help them address or solve? Did you experience this in your own business or in your journey? If so, briefly share that story here, probably in about 5 to 7 sentences. Then the final equation of this email is to share the name of your offer and some specifics of what's inside. This section acts like the too long didn't read portion of the email, so make sure that you bold the name of your offer and use bullet points for the details, or call it what you get in this section, so that it's quickly scannable and easy to read. Alrighty, my friend, we have discussed the who I am email, the quick win email, the mistakes I made email, and the offer email. We've finally reached email number 5 on the list, and it's one of my favorites, the social proof email. I love sending emails that share offers or client experience in the words of people who can speak to it best, your clients. The purpose of this email is to share client testimonials that demonstrate a before and an after transformation. This email is most effective when your readers can picture themselves in the client's shoes. So here are a few things to consider. First, try to include a variety of different industries or client types, from service providers to product-based businesses, or from solopreneurs to a team of managers, and more. The goal here is to demonstrate that your product or your service can be valuable for a wide range of consumers. Try also to showcase a multitude of starting points and preparation levels. So for instance, you can share a client's testimonial who you served early on in their business journey, as well as a client story who is more established or further along in their experience. Finally, if you have multiple offers or multiple price points, be sure to select testimonials that speak to all, or consider dedicating one social proof email to each offer. Make sure you send these separately with some space and some other emails in between. Whether you email your list every week without fail, or you don't have an email list started yet, here's one takeaway I want you to remember from this episode. Email can work for your business if and when you're ready to show up as yourself in your people's inboxes. It really can be as simple as that, as sending notes from the heart, lessons learned along the way, adding value, and selling sometimes too. You can do this, and these 5 must-send emails are here to help. As always, thanks for being here, and until next time, this is your Copywriter on Call, signing off. Thanks for listening to the Copywriter on Call podcast. If this episode has you feeling all sorts of inspired to show up as yourself online, click that subscribe button so you don't miss my stories or practical advice to help you express your quirky, vulnerable, and authentic self online. Chat soon.